how Flamy came to be. I love drag, obviously. Has anybody, is this anybody's first drag show? No. Yeah, all right, come on. Congratulations. Sleep It. This your first drag show? My cousin. I couldn't say Elizabeth when I was a kid, so I said Sleep It. Well, to be clear, this is going to be a little different than most drag shows, but it's still a drag show, it still counts. This is a show, I'm in drag, you're watching, we're having a drag show. I blame all of this on my pastor, actually. I'm from San Diego, and until just a few weeks ago, actually, attended a church called Sojourn Grace Collective out there. And I say a few weeks ago because we actually just wound down and brought the thing to an end for a lot of different reasons. I actually told my husband, I said, listen, my whole life I have done church. I have been somewhere at 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning, doing music, doing something my whole life, and I just need to know what it's like to have a Sunday morning and like go to brunch and do whatever other people do on Sunday mornings who don't have to do church. And I said, do not let me, now that this church is winding down, do not let me meet some really cool progressive pastor who, is very inclusive and like needs somebody to help with music and like maybe even likes drag. Like, do not let that happen. Y'all, I'm a little obsessed with you. Like, here's the thing. I got to see the documentary. Jeff sent me the documentary. What's it called? What's the name of it? Coming Out Story is the name of it? I love it so much. Y'all, I've watched a lot of these types of videos, movies, documentaries, stories, right? I'm a little jaded when it comes to that stuff. I've been around a minute, I've seen a lot of things come and go. My tendency is to be like, well, yeah, that's a great story, but whose mind is it gonna change? People are so in their lanes, they're so stuck in their mud right now, whose mind is gonna change? I have to tell you, I was weeping at the end of that documentary. And I paused the screen, the credit at the end, and anybody whose name was on the screen, I like looked you up on Instagram. So like half of you probably got like follow requests from me that night. And I was like, these people are the real deal. This story is amazing. And the way you've told it, I think it has the power and the potential to move a needle in a way that a lot of things I think don't. So kudos to y'all for sharing your coming out story with the world. I think it's going to make a difference. I was trying to introduce myself and now I'm just talking about you because like I said, I'm obsessed with you. My pastor, Kate, invited me shortly after I started dabbling in drag, and I do mean dabbling. I'm a quarantine queen. When pandemic started, that's when I was like, oh, I have all this extra time. All of a sudden, I'm gonna start playing with makeup and do this thing that I've wanted to do for a while and never really had time to do. And I didn't even tell my husband that right away that I had an Instagram account for Flamy Grant, and I'm like posting pictures secretly there. Like it was very on the down low. I didn't know what I was doing with it all. I just knew that it was something I wanted to chase. I wanted to explore it for myself. And it was actually my pastor Kate who said, "Hey, why don't you give the sermon this Sunday?" This is still during pandemic, so we were virtual. She said, "Why don't you come and give the sermon as Flamy?" And I was like, "What? What does that even look like? I have no idea what a drag sermon even looks like." So I was like, well, let me think about it. And I thought about it, and I created a little TikTok video, and that was my practice round. Just 60 seconds, talking to TikTok, getting into drag, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what that's like. That's what a drag sermon is gonna be like. So I posted it, I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and it had kind of blown up a little bit. Like, it's got almost 1 million views at this point. And that was when I realized that something about all of this, I still don't know what exactly, but something about all of this speaks to people. It speaks to people who have grown up in places where we couldn't be our full authentic self. I I was the kid in my mom's heels. I'm in flats tonight, but y'all don't hate me for that, right? You can appreciate that. I would traipse around mom's heels. I would play with her makeup, and for a minute that was okay, right? When I was real young, that was okay. We have pictures and family photo albums of me doing this. But then reached a point where something clicked in everybody's mind, and they were like, we need to nip this in the bud. We need to squash this. And they did for a really long time. My church, my family, my school. I grew up in Nashville, and we were very much in our little bubble there. And I never had much of a chance to explore any of this until pandemic, really. So for 30 years, 35 years, I had these inclinations and these impulses that I just said no to. And I think that's one of the things that drag can do for us, right? Is just to loosen the reins a little bit and remind us that it's okay to play, it's okay to paint, it's okay to color outside the lines a little bit, like way outside the lines, right? These are not my natural lips, just so you know. But so this song is a little bit about that. It's a little bit of my biography, slightly embellished. Picture this an American scene, lost in the cover of a magazine. Bible Belt baby wanna be a queen. Lord mama tried to keep a little boy clean. She found him with her high heels on, a 2-foot train of green chiffon. That messy lip was overdrawn, it was shocking and obscene. Mama knows that she's been blessed, and she's always done her best to cheer her little angel on, no matter how he's dressed. Now the baby boy is grown, on stage he wigs and silicone. After the show she's crying, child, what did you drag me into? What'd you drag me into? It's Christmas Eve, time for the church nativity. Papa's in the front row trying to see, rubs his eyes because he can't believe. Mary, Mary, Mother Mild is played by a familiar child. His son is walking down the aisle to a virgin shall conceive. Papa takes most things in stride, and he works hard to provide. He likes tradition, and when gender roles are clear and codified, so he'll never some baby short with a crown, and nothing you can say or do is gonna turn her shut down. There ain't no need to be ashamed, but if you want someone to blame, look up to heaven, cry, Lord, what did you drag me into? Oh yeah, what did you drag me into? What did